Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to talk about Resident Evil 8, The Village, or just Village actually. This was sent to me by my good friend Eric from New Mexico. He sent me Resident Evil 3, the remake, and Village as a birthday/Christmas gift. Thank you very, very much. I am loving this game. It's perfect because the segments in the game are not very long, so with the baby around, I'm able to play for an hour and save and stop, and it's great. The atmosphere is awesome. If you've played Resident Evil 7, I would say it's similar in the way it plays. It's a first-person shooter with some puzzle elements, lots of action. The seventh one starts off sort of like Texas Chainsaw, which I really loved. This one, what would I compare it to movie-wise or something? I guess sort of something like Underworld, perhaps. It's your daughter gets taken. You know this from the intro, and you try to follow them and I guess figure out where your daughter is and save her. And you end up in this weird, creepy little village. You know, the doors are all locked, and there's all these werewolves and vampires and zombies and crap. And you go through the houses and pick up items and open new doors and go through the castle and fight this team of vampire women. There's a lot of interesting little areas and secrets. You can upgrade your weapons. Again, it's all first person, and you get like a shotgun, a magnum, a pistol, a sniper rifle. But there are elements of old Resident Evils where it's like puzzle oriented, where you're finding items to open things, or maybe figuring out how to use things in certain ways to get to certain areas. There's a guy who sells things to you, a big fat man in the back of a caravan. So you go to him and you can upgrade your weapons and make recipes to strengthen your character's health, things of that nature. Really cool, not really scary. I would say 7 and 8 aren't particularly scary. There are some times where things will jump out or catch you off guard. It happened to me once, I remember, and you kind of jerk back and go, whoa, but it's not necessarily a scary game. I think when the original Resident Evils came out, there was nothing like them, and they were really creepy at the time. Great visuals. I mean, the game, I'm playing on a 1X, so it's not the top tier Series X, but the game looks phenomenal. And it's not very long. I think I'm about 3/4 or more of the way through now. They said it's about 12 hours. I've got to have about 10 into it, so I think I have this last main area or two left. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say about it. The back sucks, by the way. This back does no... That's like such crappy screenshots. They do no favors for this game, because this game is so good. The front's okay, the werewolf/man face thing going on. But the game looks great. It sounds great. It's a very interesting world, a little interesting small village that just keeps kind of opening and opening and opening. You think you're done with an area, and then you find an item, and then you can go backtrack to another area and then use that item to open up another area or a secret or whatever it is. So it's really fun and addicting in a way. As I said, it's more action-oriented in like a horror world. I guess sort of like, I wouldn't really say Condemned, but that's sort of what it reminded me of initially. But the world is very different than Condemned. It's not like homeless people. It's, like I said, vampires and werewolves. So if you like that kind of gothic look and architecture, I think you'll like this game. Where the previous one, again, had more of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre feeling, at least initially, when the game started out. What I don't love about the Resident Evil series, at least with 7 and this one, is I feel like they shoehorn that, biological weapon, this created the zombies, Raccoon City stuff into it. I almost wish it was like Halloween 3, where instead of having to have Michael Myers in it, they just said, here's a new standalone story that takes place on Halloween. I wish that was the case with Resident Evil. I wish it sort of just broke off into, here's a scary story. Not, here's a scary story that has to tie into this biological crap from the original games. I'm not a big fan of that sci-fi biological warfare stuff, so that doesn't do it for me. That's not really in the game yet, but I have a feeling by the end of the game it will be, just like with 7. What else did I want to say about the game? There's some cool bosses. There is some interesting characters. You probably know some of them from seeing Lady Demirtsu, whatever her name is, the vampire chick, and her daughters. Again, interesting architecture, interesting little worlds and areas. So if you like Resident Evil and you like first-person shooters that are not, they're not guns a-blazing. You're not playing Duke Nukem or Quake. But if you like action-oriented first-person shooters with puzzle elements, very big recommendation. This is very, very fun. Check out some screenshots and video clips online. Very cool gothic atmosphere. I think you'll like it. Thank you, Eric, for sending me Resident Evil Village. I am thoroughly enjoying it, if you couldn't tell by the tone of my voice. Thank you guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.